And we are live.
All right, we are live with Once Upon a Time actress Rebecca Mader. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, first question is from our viewer, Sarah Trimmer. What's it like playing the Wicked Witch of the West, and what's your favorite fairy tale? Love, your biggest fan, Sarah.
My biggest fan, Sarah. Hello, Sarah. I mean, I've said it once and I'll say it again. Playing the Wicked Witch has been wicked. It's been so much fun. The word wicked has always been one of my favourite words, and the fact that I've been able to play the Wicked Witch of the West has been completely mind-blowing. Fairy tale-wise, growing up I was obsessed with Aladdin. I like the modern day ones, well, modern for the 90s. I loved The Little Mermaid and I loved Aladdin. Like, I know all the words to all the songs, which was really fun for my parents.
Now that there have been many interpretations of the Wicked Witch of the West, how did you make this role yours?
When I got the part on Once Upon a Time, I didn't want to copy anybody else's portrayal of the Wicked Witch, so I actually didn't do any research, and I didn't watch the original Wizard of Oz film or the Oz the Great and the Powerful. I tried to sort of not watch it so that I could try and just bring my own thing to what the writers had written for me, and they actually really wanted me to use my natural accent and be British, which I think made it a little bit different from the others. So I just tried to kind of do my own thing with the amazing writing and then just put on some little green British hot sauce on the top.
What made you want to become an actress?
I have no idea what it was that made me become an actress. It's more sort of who I am as a person, sort of the ridiculous, expressive, loud, silly part of my personality. I kind of was always this way even when I was little, so I think I really didn't have a choice. I needed like an outlet to kind of put my personality into something.
If you could work with one actor or actress, who would you like to work with?
Well, working with Meryl Streep was a game changer for me. I am obsessed with older British women in terms of just looking up to them and then being my idol. Like, I'd love to work with Maggie Smith. Oh God, on Downton Abbey, what's better than that? Dame Judi Dench, just those older British women. I'd love to just be around them all day, and also Helen Mirren. Oh.
One of our viewers, Catalina Mays, would like to know, love your dress, where did you get it?
It's actually not a dress. You think it is, and then there's a bit of a surprise, and it's a bit of a romper. So it's got legs on it. Yeah, it's really comfy. I got it from BCBG Max Azria.
Haley Passmore says, please work with Meryl Streep again.
Okay! But only for you. Only because you asked nicely.
A lot of people are talking about the Love the Stands campaign. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yes, so I launched my charity t-shirt campaign in conjunction with Stands for Lollipop Theatre charity. It's an amazing charity, and the money's going to... Well, what Lollipop Theatre do is they take movies that are currently in the theatre and play them for children in hospitals that are too sick to go to the cinema. A lot of them are terminally ill, and then some of them have cancer, or some are just too sick to go outside. And they put on these really magical events for the kids. They even roll out the red carpet and everything. And it just gives these kids a night off, you know, from thinking about their illness or the fact that they can't go to school with their friends, or they're left out of the conversation, you know. Growing up, or even just as adults, all we talk about is what we just saw, and they don't get to be a part of that conversation. So this charity allows them to have that. And then also Lollipop is able to sometimes get the actors from those films to come and watch it with the children. So I wanted to raise money for them, and then I'm going to try and do a Once Upon a Time night with the kids here in Los Angeles and watch it with them. So it's a really wonderful charity, and I thought it was very in line with Once Upon a Time in terms of the show has been an escape for so many, and I think that this charity also has that for these children.
Our viewer Shelby Brendel would like to know, what is your favorite thing about Once Upon a Time conventions?
Ah, the fans, obviously. Hanging out with you lot has been so cool. We go to these conventions and it's like one big happy family, and what I love is I love hearing your stories. I love speaking to people on stage. People come and ask these wonderful questions, and then sometimes it's a more intimate setting at these conventions where I can sit down in a smaller room full of people and I get to hear your guys' story, and it isn't just me talking about myself. I'm really interested to hear about other people's struggles, or how the show has helped them, or just, you know, how it is to be a teenager in this day and age. So connecting with the fans at these conventions has been very, very meaningful to me.
We have a lot of questions coming in about being directed by Lana for Once Upon a Time. What was it like, and does it make you want to do some directing as well?
Honestly, that was maybe 2 of the best weeks of my life. Lana and I had so much fun making this episode. It was so weird and yet so right at the same time. Like, being a director suited her so well. It came so easily to her. And she and I are so close, obviously, in real life, that we have our own language anyway. So if she wanted to suggest something to me, I was so open to it, and then we would collaborate and come up with ideas together. She was so wonderful with the guest stars, with the other actors. She made everybody feel seen and feel loved, and she's just so clever and so talented. I was so proud of her. I spent half the time trying not to cry. I was like a proud mum. But how perfect is that for a very heavy Zelena-centric episode, I get to be directed by my sister. It does not get better than that.
Louisa Giovanna is asking, I love you. What will Zelena leave for you in your life?
That's a really good question. Well, thank you. I love you too. I mean, my life has been hugely impacted by Once Upon a Time, the fandom, and the character of Zelena. I've learned a lot from playing this character. She's obviously very different to me. I haven't, spent my life trying to ruin other people's happiness. But I think she had a much more difficult childhood than me, so I've learned about those struggles. And I like the fact that Zelena has always been unapologetically herself, and I think I've learned how to be more that way in my life, because sometimes I worry that, am I too loud? Am I too this? Am I too that? And then maybe I'll sort of like try to dull my shine for other people. And I think playing this character where she can just burst into a room and set fire to everybody like, it's me! I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be more like Zelena. So I think she sort of impacted my personality forever.
Now, if you weren't acting, what do you think you would be doing?
Wanting to be an actress. I really don't know. When I was at school, you used to take those tests to sort of see what your career should be, and mine always came up to be school teacher. I love children. I love being around younger people. I think children are more on my level. If I go to a kid's birthday party, rather than standing with the mums and the dads, I'm on the slip and slide with the children. I just love the company of children, because kids are present and they live in the moment, and I think it's almost similar to, it is a little bit like animals. That's why I like animals and children. It's all about being in the present rather than regretting mistakes from yesterday or living in the future,
Caitlin O'Neill says, hey Rebecca, I just
Hi.
wanted to say that I love you and you inspire me so much. What is your favorite episode of Once Upon a Time so far?
I get asked that question a lot. It's really hard. 316, It's Not Easy Being Green, where I debuted, was really special for me, and I had a little viewing party with my friends. That was very, very special. And Adam and Eddie gave it to me as a gift in a hard copy book, which was really special. They gave all of us books, bound scripts of a big episode. So that was very special for me. And then I love the episode, I think it's 520, called Sisters, where Regina and Zelena realised that they've actually known each other their whole lives, and I got to be with Barbara Hershey and be with my mum, and just the three of us working together was a massive career highlight for me. And then the musical, how do you not talk about the musical? Wicked Always Wins. That was maybe the best day of my life, lying on a broomstick and singing, pinch me. It doesn't get better than that. And then, fourthly, the one that Lana directed, called Chosen, 717. You'll see when it comes out. That's very special. So I'd say that I can't do one, so I'm just going to give you 4. Sorry.
Faye Bottomley says, hi gorgeous, thank
Hi.
you so much for everything you do. Any advice for a young girl who's going through a hard time? I love you.
It will pass. This too shall pass. It's my favourite quote ever. We've all been through rubbish times in our lives, but they cannot and will not last forever. It's just not how the universe works. It feels awful when you're in it, but whatever you're going through is a phase, and it's a lesson, and it's a chapter. And I promise you that 5 years from now or 10 years from now, you're going to be older, you're going to have a car, you're going to have your own apartment, and you can cut people out of your life that don't make you feel good. And you just get, as the older you get, the better it gets, and the more in control you become of your feelings and your surroundings. So just trust that life really does get better as you get older. You just have to hang in there now until you have more control over your entire experience. But it will get better, I promise.
What is the most memorable audition you've ever done?
Audition? Whew, that's a really good question. I think Lost. When I auditioned for Lost, I went in first, and they were pretend sides, they weren't real because it was such a top secret show, and I did it in an American accent, and then I was asked to come back to meet with the creators, Damon and Carlton, and I said, can I do it in an English accent? They're like, well, I don't know. I'm like, oh, go on, you've got an Iraqi, an Australian, a Scotsman, what's a British woman? Like, why not? So they let me do it, but before I did the audition, I was like being really silly, shocker, and making them laugh, and they were like, so shall we get to the audition part? And I went, is there really any point? I mean, oh, come on, let's just call my agent. And I was being ridiculous, and I just made them laugh so much that, and of course, and I pretended to leave. I'm like, all right, fine, I mean, I've learnt the lines, we may as well do it while I'm here. And so I ended up doing it, but like in interviews afterwards, they would always say in interviews, like, Rebecca Mader came in, took the part, and just like went off, you know. But I think that was just me being totally myself and not being nervous or pretending to be something I wasn't. So that really stuck with me.
Taina Correa wants to know, did you take anything from the set of Once Upon a Time memorabilia or anything that represents Zelena?
Will I get arrested if I'm honest? That's the real question. Well, I didn't take enough really. Looking back, I'm like, why was I so good? Like, why didn't I just like clean out all the stuff? What did I take? Oh, you know what I did take? I'm just going to tell you. Whatever. This is a safe space. No one's watching, right? No one's tweeting it, so whatever. I accidentally may have taken my broomstick. It may accidentally be leaning up in my office. And the broomstick is amazing because it's a lot lighter than it looks. I don't know the material that it's made out of, but it's really beautifully crafted, and it's lighter so that I can, like, you know, pick it up and do stunts with it. But to my credit, there were 3 other ones, so it wasn't like I took the only broomstick, you know. So I accidentally slipped one into the back of my car and drove off into the sunset at the end of season 6. Don't tell anyone.
Okay, I have one final question from Holly Seeley. She asks, would you rather play your Lost character in Once Upon a Time or your Once Upon a Time character in Lost?
Ooh, that's a really good question, Holly. Oh, I would rather be the full-on green Wicked Witch and just like land in the middle of the island and just be like, hello, and then all try and get on the back and get off with me because they're all just trying to get off the island. I could do a competition to see who can ride in the back with my monkeys. I mean, it literally writes itself. All right, spin off.
All right, this has been so enjoyable. Thank you so much for visiting our home today.
Can I say one thing before we go?
Yes, absolutely.
Please, please, please help with my charity. If you want to buy one of the t-shirts or the hoodies, they come in unisex as well. Go to my Instagram page, and the link is in my bio at the top. My Instagram name is @Bexmader, BEXMADER. Please help if you can. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.